Hello, and welcome back to the Worcester Senior Center Stay Connected programming on Channel 192. My name is Suki Lapin, and I am the program coordinator at the Worcester Senior Center. Today, I have the privilege of introducing Satya Mitra. Dr. Mitra, who grew up in adverse conditions in his childhood, came to the U.S. in 1976 to pursue his career in biomedical research with a PhD in biochemistry. But later in 1990, he changed his profession, getting divine instructions from his guru to become a tax consultant and investment advisor. He is now the owner, president, and CEO of his company, the Tax Guru and Financial Services. His wife, Shima, and him worked hard to establish this reputable company in our community in Worcester. Their mission is to share their success with a strong passion to help underprivileged people. Dr. Mitra and his wife, Shima, opened a charitable foundation, Joy Guru Humanitarian Services, in 2016, with a deep desire to give back to the community here and abroad. In 2019, Dr. Mitra was honored as a Hall of Fame Entrepreneur of the Year of Business Worcester Journal and Hometown Hero by Worcester Magazine. This year, he was recognized by the Worcester Historical Museum as one of the recipients of the Harvey Ball Smile Award winners. He is a philanthropist, humanitarian, community server, leader, author, motivational speaker, radio show host, and entrepreneur. Last year, Dr. Mitra wrote a book entitled The 5 C's, talking about successful entrepreneurship and leadership that achieved Amazon's bestseller list. His foundation is sponsoring the self-defense classes for seniors in our community. His philosophy is to live his life for others. His goal is to be a role model for his 2 sons, Abiskar and Alangon, who live in New York. Welcome, Dr. Mitra.
Thank you so much, Suki. That was a very generous introduction. I really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are listening to this, I welcome all of you for this new year that we have just begun to get going into 2021. You know, we all had a very challenging 2020, and we learned so much, and we reinvented ourselves. We faced many challenges, we prevailed, and now we are better prepared for the year 2021. And I have been in the city of Worcester, since 1982. As Suki mentioned, I came here in this country as a scientist, but things changed in my life because of some divine reasons. And now we have been an entrepreneur of this community, and the mission that we have started with the blessings of our guru, who is the family priest, that to help people share our success with the community, give back as much as we can to help those who are looking for some hope, help, smile, and better life. And that has been the mission. With that mission, we are launching this kind of program that you are going to listen about. In 2014, I was the president of Worcester Rotary Club, and then we visited Rio in Brazil to attend the Rotary International Convention. When my wife Shima and I, we were wandering on the Copacabana beach on one evening. All of a sudden, my wife was badly attacked by many muggers and culprits to the extent that she could have been dead. And she fought with them, showing the how courageously she could fight with them. She didn't give anything that they came after her for. And we were very fortunate that we all survived. I had a very terrible hip situation, so I couldn't support or fight with those culprits that much. But my wife really showed the extreme sense of bravery to combat them, and somehow we were alive, and we came back to United States. And then the thought came to our mind that, many challenges come to our lives. Many negative things happen to our lives, so many times. But we can sit down and cry about what has happened and repent and regret. But we took a little different route. In our lives, we have always thought that from every negative things, there is something that could be turned into something positive. And then we decided to start this self-defense classes for the women in our community of Worcester, with the mission that if anyone ever comes and attacks any one of you, just like my wife was attacked, you could be brave enough to fight with them, learning the techniques of self-defense, and let those culprits know that don't mess with us. We are women from Worcester. We know how to tackle you. We know how to handle you. With that mission, we started this Joy Guru self-defense classes in Worcester in 2016 onwards. We also established this Joy Guru Humanitarian Services in honor of our guru, who really instructed us that your success of your business should be shared for the help in the community. One of the missions we have is to make women of our community and girls of our community be brave, be strong, and be there independently, walking around without any fear. And this Joy Guru Humanity, the self-defense classes is one of those sources. So I want to thank the Worcester Senior Center, the director, Amy Waters, the program coordinator, Suki Lepin, for really putting it together. Along with that, the city's cable access community people, those who are putting this whole program together, we're just there to really sponsor. But I think with this team of people, those who have put it together, Jessica, recording this whole program for you, has been a real blessing for our city, that how together we can work and make something happen so smoothly. My instructors, Beth George, who is a blessing to us. She has become our partner for Joy Guru Humanitarian Services. She runs the classes, and her associate, I think Martin Boisvord. They will all be running this show, and you will all have opportunity to watch it remotely. Under the conditions that we are in now, I think we could not run this program at all, but we have the opportunity using the technology and the blessings of the technology to provide you these classes through the television shows. So you remain alerted about the days that will be starting, and tune in and promote this program so every woman in our community, seniors in our community, can be braver, can be more stronger, and ready to run their life freely without any fear. May God bless you for listening to this and joining this program, and we will continue to support our views and our passion to help people stand as a source of hope, as a source of help, as a source of better life and support for this community with the help of Joy Guru Humanitarian Services. Thank you all. God bless you. Happy New Year.
Welcome each of you to the second of the 4 classes of self-defense for seniors. Thank you for choosing to join us at the Karate Center. We feel honored to have you. First, I would like to express my appreciation to Dr. and Mrs. Mitra for their spiritual, emotional, and financial support of this project. Second, to the Worcester Senior Center and Suki Lepin for her invitation to present these classes, as well as her guidance and suggestion during this process. To the City of Worcester for the staff, Sean, Beck, as well as all the technical support that allowed for the videotaping, editing, and broadcasting of the classes. And last, but far from least, to Sensei Martin. My profound appreciation for his most generous giving of time, ideas, and dedication to our work. I honestly do not know what I would have done without him. To begin with a little about myself. My name is Beth George. I am a psychiatric nurse with a subspecialty in nursing education. I was working at Worcester State Hospital and had just medicated an agitated patient. He wanted to be let off the unit. I did not agree. I wanted the medication to work. He expressed his disagreement with me by punching me in the eye. A year later, there was a similar scenario, but with a different outcome. Because then, after he punched me again, I began studying the martial arts. Since that time, I have not been assaulted by anybody, and I have said frequently, "Thank you, Jesus," because Jesus was his name. Now I would like to introduce my co-teacher, Sensei Martin.
Thank you, Sensei. I'd like to extend my thanks to the as aforementioned, and also to Sensei John Hassel and Sensei Beth for their continuing dedication and hard work that has kept this dojo alive for so many years.
The title of the second of 4 classes is Prevention, Part 2. We will now review what we covered in the first class. Sensei Martin.
Thank you, Sensei. In the first class, we covered some very basic things about going out, walking. Might seem a little bit overkill, but it's very important to have a plan before you go out. If you have any attackers out there, they have their plan, and one of the parts of their plan is to minimize their own risk. They have the plan. If they want to have an attack, they know what they want. They know how they're going to attack, and they know where they want to attack. So you need to have a little bit of a backup plan yourself. It's a very good idea. Use the buddy system. You're going out, 2 heads are better than 1. You're less of a target too, all right? Always be scanning. Always be keeping aware. I'm not trying to make people paranoid, but keep aware of your environment. Look for things that don't look a little out of place. Stay away from parking lots that have closely parked cars where people like to hide. But any barrier where anybody would want to hide behind to jump out and catch you by surprise. We talked a little bit about the elements of violence, a sudden violent attack. We are looking at 4 components, okay? The 4 components are, it's a surprise, it's very close, it's very fast, and it's very powerful, okay? And these are attacks that even the most experienced martial artists would have a problem reacting to. Okay, so Sensei Beth will have a little bit to say about posture.
Keep your head up, your shoulders back. 70 to 80% of the messages we sent out are done non-verbally. So when you are looking up and out, as opposed to down and rolled in, you're giving very different messages with your face, with your eyes, and with your body language. Sensei Martin will now talk about walking.
Okay, so in the first video, we built upon what Sensei Beth said about posture. The way you walk, the way you carry yourself says a lot about what's on your mind, your attitude. Perfect targets are people who are very distracted with their own thoughts. They might be depressed about something, they might have a problem. That's not the time in public. You have to try to put that problem aside. And when you walk, you want to walk with the posture that Sensei Beth had talked about, and walk with confidence. Convey the confidence. Even if you have a disability, you still can do it. We demonstrated it in the first video.
It's important to make eye contact. That's another message that you are giving that's nonverbal. If at all possible, make eye contact with the people who are around you, but do not stare. We have a saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. In healthcare, it is something that I found to be very true, and especially now, taking those precautions to prevent an infection before needing to treat it is what we have devoted the second of the 4 classes to prevention. And just like most of life, there are no guarantees. Nothing will work 100%. The basic template for our classes is as follows. There will be a demonstration of what we are trying to convey, And at times, you will be invited to join us to do a return demonstration. If at any time during any of these classes you experience pain, feelings of not being safe, or discomfort, stop what you are doing, and of course, if they persist, consult your healthcare provider. In this class, we will begin with a light warm-up to prepare your body for whatever we are to demonstrate, and then invite you to practice with us. You are now invited to stand up and join us for a light warm-up. If you would prefer to remain seated, Sensei Martin will demonstrate the moves from a seated position. Another word of caution, use your discretion when doing anything we are suggesting. Listen to your body when it whispers so that you will not have to hear it when it screams. We will now do Tai So, a slight, gentle warm-up, starting from our feet and moving up to our head. We will begin with our feet. So the foot goes side to side. We frequently are moving heel to toe, but not very often do we go side to side. I hear things cracking already. Up on the ball of the foot, and we'll do a gentle circle. Each, knee, sun, chi. Go and reverse. Each, knee, sun, chi, go. Now to the other foot, again, side to side. Each, knee, sun, chi, go. Now up on the ball of the foot and circles. Each, knee, sun, chi, go, and reverse. Each, knee, sun, chi, go. Very good. Now for the knees are bent. They're going to open out to the side, come around and straighten. Each, knee, nice and gentle. Sun, chi, go. Very good. Now reverse. Out to the side, around to the front, and straighten. Each, knee, sun, chi, go. Very good. Now straighten and just kind of drop. Try and get a full stretch there. Up through the hamstrings and the quads. Now, if you're standing, gently come up, please. Okay, good. Now, circles, hip circles, each. Knee, try and get a full range of motion in that. Chi, go. Very good, very good. Now reverse. Each, knee, sun, chi, go. Good, good, good. Now double pumps back, looking behind you, and twice. Each, knee. Should be feeling this in the waist and in the torso. Go. Rook. Good, good, good. Seach. Hunch. Q. Chew. Very, very good. Now over to the side, just one side. Each, knee, sun, chi, go. Very good. Other side. Each, knee, sun, chi, go. Very good, very good. Now, small circles forward. Each, knee, sun, chi, go. Rook, seach, hunch, Q, Jew, and reverse. Each, knee, sun, chi, go. Rook, seach, hunch, Q, Jew. Now great big circles. Each, knee, sun, chi, go. Good, and reverse. Each, knee, sun, chi, Go. Very, very good. Now, one hand over the head and pulling at the wrist. H, knee, sun, chi, go, rook, seach, hunch, Q, Ju, good, good, good. Now the other side. H, knee, sun, chi, go, rook, seach, hunch, Q, Ju. Very, very good. Now, shoulders up, 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 tight, tight, tight to the ears, tight, 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 and drop them. Good, good, good. Up, 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 tight, 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 and drop them. Third, up, 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 tight, 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 and drop them. Good. Shoulder rolls forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, good, good. Now, hand in front, other hand underneath, and stretch here to the scapula. Good. Relax. Other side. Good, 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 good. All right. Now, chin to chest. Roll the head and the ear over to one shoulder. Feel the stretch in the neck. Drop the chin. Roll to the front. Ear to the opposite shoulder. Make sure it's ear to shoulder, not shoulder to ear. And again, chin to chest. Roll over. Good, 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 good. Drop the chin and over. And up. Now, should there be an attack, you would not need to do this because there would be a sudden rush of adrenaline and you'd be good to go. But this is just for the warm-up. The following is an overview that will be covered in part 2 of prevention.
First, we'll be talking about distractions, self-induced. A lot of times we tend to be distracted by paying attention to certain things like cell phones, maps. Not a very good idea.
I will be talking about what you need to do to prevent any kind of problems if you're walking in a populated area.
Then we're going to cover a different type of distraction. That would be an external distraction. That would be a would-be attacker that's trying to get you off guard.
And then I will be talking about ways to prevent you from appearing as though you would be a very good prey.
Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about self-induced distractions, okay? These are sometimes bad habits we develop. These are just suggestions, but every time you self-induce, have some sort of a thing that you're doing that takes your attention away from what's going on around you, you're putting yourself a little bit more in risk, okay? So first thing I want to talk about is cell phone use. Always a bad idea as you're walking to be looking at this thing while you're walking. You can't scan, okay? Also a bad idea to be talking on the phone while you're walking. Also a bad idea to be doing that obviously while you're driving. Even hands-free driving on the phone, there's a little bit of a hazard there because you're splitting your attention and the other person on the other side of the phone has no idea what's going on. Different than a person that you're talking to as a passenger. They're right in the vehicle, okay? So let's talk a little bit about walking with this thing and talking. So I'm having a conversation and there could be something coming towards me like a bus. This person has no idea I could be in potential danger, okay? So they're not going to stop talking and now your attention is still split and you could be in potential danger. Also, probably a good idea to keep the thing in silent. Okay, this is one of the items that sometimes a mugger might be after. Why advertise that you have the thing? Okay, so you know, about cell phones. They're a very useful tool, but let's not make them into a crutch. Third one. Here's a bad one. If you're using the GPS to try to find your way around, if you're not familiar, that's very bad, because now the would-be attacker can see that you don't even know your area. This goes back to making a plan. You should kind of know your area, or if unfamiliar, get familiar with the area. Okay, and finally, this is also probably a bad habit. A lot of people go jogging. These are usually bigger than people use. Most people are using earbuds. You know, you might want to be listening to music, or maybe some kind of a educational program while you're walking. You're compromising one of your five senses. Okay. Sometimes an attacker, a lot of times they're coming up from the rear. You're not going to be able to hear footsteps as easily with these. Okay. Remember, these are all suggestions. I'm not telling you, I don't have any authority to tell you to do anything, but you're putting yourself more at risk when you cut some of those senses out. There's a very dangerous activity that goes on recently in the past few years called the sucker punch game, where people with no honor, and they're obviously cowards, will come up to people right behind them and just sucker punch them as hard as they can in the head. Okay, that's a violent attack. There's no reason for it except for the thrill. They don't discriminate as far as some of them target elderly people that they know that can't defend themselves. So another good reason to try to keep your awareness and your hearing is such a very important tool, even though a lot of us don't really pay attention to what those audio inputs are telling us. But these are just suggestions, and I just hope that you think about that. Thank you.
Try and stay in well-lit, highly populated areas. If by chance that's not possible, with the changing of the seasons, sometimes we go out and it's daylight, and in a fairly short period of time it becomes dark. Sensei Martin has been talking about the importance of vision and the importance of hearing. We have five senses. I also would like to encourage you to think about your sense of smell and your sense of touch. The other day when I was doing my walk in the woods, I smelt a cigarette smoke. That alerted me to the possibility that there was someone nearby that I couldn't see. There was a book out a few years ago about everything I ever needed to know I learned in kindergarten. For me, it's everything I need to know about these classes I learned during my walk in the woods. I wasn't heeding Sensei Martin's advice to pay attention to your hearing. I had my earbuds in. But the interesting thing is I felt somebody coming up behind me because of my sense of touch. The skin is the largest organ in the body. Work on being aware of your skin and the messages that it is taking in. Thank you.
Okay, so I talked a little bit about self-induced distractions. Now we're going to be talking about external distractions. Sometimes a would-be attacker might want to lure you in a little closer. Remember those four elements of the violent attack: surprise, closeness, speed, and power. Okay, so they want to get that distance closer so that they can engage with you. It's very important. Remember the old saying, distance is your friend when it comes to that. Not all your strangers are going to be looking to attack you, but it's always a good idea to, if it's a person you don't know, be smart about it, be polite. You don't have to be rude. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about something very simple. Okay, so Sensei Beth will will gesture as if she wanted to know the time. Okay, this is a very simple one. And this is something that a lot of people don't really think about. So she's gesturing, she wants to know what time it is. If I incline to give her the time, I can look at the time on my, if I have a watch, I'll pull out the cell phone. Okay, now I've compromised my view of the whole stranger. Okay, always a good idea. She'll gesture again. I'm going to raise my hand. Now at least I can have my eyes on the opponent or the stranger. Okay, if they decide to attack, I also have just a little bit of a better chance because this hand is up here as defense. Okay, this is real initial stages of a would-be attack, so we're not getting into anything that's violent here. But when you choose to engage like this and get that close, you could expect something like that to happen. You know, most of the time it's not going to happen, but these are how violent attacks happen. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about a little more into the more violent nature of a person. If a person chooses to attack you for reasons of they want something from you, okay? So if I'm walking along, I'm scanning, so she has the knife concealed right now, and I'm just walking by, and all of a sudden I get close enough, and she's up to me with this. This is a weapon, okay? Now, there's no fantasy about this. If she had a small knife and I picked out a bigger knife, is that going to win the fight? No, it's not. In real life violence, the edge that the attacker has, they have a preconceived plan. And they are prepared most of the time to use violence. The person who's surprised about this thing usually is not so inclined to do this, okay? This is very dangerous. I've learned a lot of knife defense techniques, and I'll tell you right now, about 90% of those techniques I've learned over the years, they're useless, they're dangerous, and they could get you hurt or killed, okay? Because a lot of times they're practiced from an unrealistic attack, okay? When somebody's attacking with a knife, okay, if they really want to hurt you, they're going to be continuously, and I'm going slow, continuously going in and out. There's very little chance that even a very skilled martial artist, unless they train regularly how to defend against that when they're unarmed, to be able to survive that, okay? So, okay, the person gesturing to me, we just established now, okay, she's got the knife. Let's back it up a little bit more. How about a panhandler, okay? Is that a dangerous thing? Oh, could be, all right? So they're asking for money. All right, and let's add a little bit more to this scenario here. Let's say I'm walking with a cane, okay? Person's gesturing for money, okay? I might be inclined to give the person money, or I might say I don't have any. That's a good option, be polite. If you're inclined to help the destitute, that's a fine thing. But look what I have here. If I'm a man, I have usually a wallet. Now I have to use two hands to get one hand to get the wallet out, and I'm going to compromise my cane. So I might do something like this and pull out the wallet, and I'm exposing my contents to the person, okay? Very, very bad thing to do, very uncomfortable too. And I'm also sacrificing my cane. They could take that away from me and use it against me, okay? So let's think about a little bit of a strategy. Instead of, if you're inclined to give money like that, how about when we're doing our initial plan to go out, and you think you might come across a panhandler? I do something regularly in my truck. I'll carry like a $5 bill in case I want to give money to somebody's panhandler, because I don't want to be fumbling around. If I have the money in my car, I take it, I know where it is, I have the window cracked about that much, I'll shut the window so they can't have access to me, they'll grab the money, done. Okay, so in that instance, I exposed all my valuables. In this instance, she's going to gesture for money, I'm walking by, I keep my distance, and we go about our way. That's a strategy, and it's always a good idea. You want to carry the money, probably. Good idea to carry it in your hand if you want, or a loose pocket. Somewhere you can access it quickly if you're inclined to give somebody money, okay? So, again, just a suggestion. It might seem silly until the day that you have to do it, all right? All right, so let's talk about the more violent with the knife. Okay, a mugging. This is different, all right? The person coming up to me, I don't have much of an option. We have a saying, it's much better to outsmart your attacker than it is to be forced to fight. And I say forced to fight. Anybody who wants to fight is very prepared, okay? The person attacking here has all the advantage. They've sized me up. I might be smaller, I might be older. There's probably not a good chance I can outrun the person. If I don't have any weapons on me, I don't carry weapons. If I don't do that, I'm not in a good situation. So what's my option? Not much. So if this happens, I'll give you an option, and I'll show you something after. Okay? So she's gesturing. I pull out the valuables. I keep my eyes on the opponent. Okay? I want to keep my distance. If I'm this far away, I want to stay this way. I don't want to draw in any closer. I'll put it to the ground. Okay? Okay, so now she's trying to minimize her risk because she doesn't want to get caught. Okay? But did I lose my valuables? I might have, unless I had a backup plan. Here's my real valuables. That's a decoy. Here's another little plan that you can have. If you carried a wallet, you might want to have just a spare when you go out. Keep it in the opposite pocket that you usually keep it in, okay? In the wallet, get a couple of little cards. You know, they might be rewards cards from Subway or something like that, just to make it look full. Put a few dollars in it, okay? This is called outsmarting the opponent, okay? We don't have to teach anybody a lesson, but we do have to survive this attack. Okay, if we survive the attack, we can at least report it. That person didn't get our valuables. If you have to give your valuables away, they can be replaced. It's a pain. A lot of times you have a lot of certifications, that type of thing. But nothing's worth your life. Okay, so please take these pieces of advice and try to put them into practice and think about them. You know, the person who has the plan is the person who's not going to get surprised. Okay, Sensei Beth?
And finally, do not draw attention to yourself. Do not make yourself attractive by wearing expensive, sparkling jewelry, wristwatches, bracelets, rings, nothing that will catch someone's attention. Do not carry your handbag dangling so that somebody can grab it from you. You may want to think about putting anything that's of value to you within your coat, especially during times when it's getting colder and you will be wearing something heavier. So that I have a variation on what Sensei Martin has to say, so that if somebody comes at me and wants my pocketbook, no! Please, no! Make noise. Sensei Martin's very accurate in terms of distance is our friend, but so is sound. Making noise and acting quickly within a very short period of time. Getting attention frequently will get help. Thank you. That is the end of the contents for this section. Like most of life, there are no guarantees, and so it is with all of this. I would encourage each of you to continue to practice all that you have been working on today. Go through them virtually, Whenever you are waiting for something or someone, go through them. When you are having difficulty sleeping, go through them when you're in the shower or doing dishes or ironing your clothes. Embed them in all of your activities of daily living. Practicing them when you are not under stress will result in something called muscle memory. Muscle memory results in you being able to perform a task faster and more effectively. And here again, it is speed, than if you have to think about it. Sensei Martin has spoken about distance being our friend. Speed can be our best friend. I will now invite all of you to join me in some light stretching. These come out of yoga. So, we're going to begin with Warrior One. So, your right leg is forward, a little bent. The arms are up, and you are looking up. This is Warrior One. The muscles will give way with the stretching. Challenge them a little, but don't hurt them. Bring the arms down and out parallel to the ground. Warrior Two. Make sure that back shoulder is pulled back a little. We tend to always be rolled over. We need to roll those shoulders back. Reverse Warrior. Coming forward into Wounded Warrior. Yoga can be so soothing. And up, and switch legs, doing the same thing on the opposite side. So reaching up for Warrior One. Down, Warrior Two. Breathing, breathe into all of those tight areas you have, you feel. Coming back into Reverse Warrior. Oh, yeah, breathe into it, breathe into it. And finally, Wounded Warrior. Make sure that back arm is coming out over your head. Good. Now slowly come up. Good. And into this position for some centering and calming Tai Chi breathing. So, in through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 5, 6. Down, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last one. Full, full, full. In. Hold it, and let it go. Let it all go. Let go of anything that is not serving you. Very good. Finally, a summary of everything that we covered today. Sensei Martin.
Try to avoid self-induced distractions, such as cell phones, listening to music, compromising any of your senses.
Stay in well-lit and populated areas at night. Pay attention to all of your senses.
Try to avoid external distractions, strangers that might be trying to lure you in close distance with you. Be leery, be polite, but be cautious.
Don't draw attention to yourself. The Karate Center has a logo. Experience the joy of training. My hope is that you have experienced the joy of feeling empowered with some skills to prevent harm coming to you. We look forward to having you join the next class, where we plan to continue teaching techniques for self-defense. Contact information is available as a Gmail or using our phone here at the dojo. Please feel free to give us feedback on what you found helpful, how we might improve, and anything else you might want to share. I have always found that students have been my best teachers and hope that you will continue that tradition. Until then, Sensei Martin and I wish that you be safe, happy, healthy, and live with ease.